I think I was 16 when I started using dating apps. At the time, it was a dating app called Hot or Not. And the premise basically was that you swipe on like people's profiles, but I don't think even they had a bio, but you swipe on their profiles, and then based on the way that other people are swiping on you, you get a rating. And the app itself will only give you people that are roughly within your rating like category. Years of my life that I was using dating apps, I would have them like all downloaded at the same time, or like, would be using many of them at the same time. I feel like every woman I meet, like, if they somehow find out that I've had a bad dating experience, it's like a point of connection. It's like, oh, this is what it's like to be a woman. Like, but why should we have to connect on something so like dark? The climate, like the social climate that we've created, it's become very difficult to like organically meet people. I don't know that it's more pleasant this way. It's just, it just is. One of the other uncomfortable things that I experience is having to prove like your body type, how tall you are, how fat you are, like what you weigh. You feel that the other person maybe is owed that, or maybe not owed that, but they're asking you for it explicitly. If you have more pictures that show this part of your body or this part of your body, so that you can prove like, okay, I'm suitable enough for you. That's extremely uncomfortable, and again, another experience that I only have with straight men. It's like you're drinking from a well that has a drop of poison in it. Like you either take the chance or you don't. Look at me like Daredevil. I like continue going back to the dating apps even though they hurt me every time. Um, but I can't get enough. And it's not that I can't get enough of like being hurt. It's that like, as a teenager or like young adult, you're just seeking connection and you have no way of like finding it. It was the beginning of summer, so it was, a moment of opportunity, if that makes sense. I remember in the span of a week, I had two dates lined up, one with a girl and one with a boy. Um, so earlier in the week, I had the date with a girl, and we went out to dinner and had such a good time. I loved getting to know her. Then a few days later, I was talking to a guy on Tinder, and we had a really nice chat about astrophysics and like the stars or something. And so the next day, he actually asked me if I wanted to meet him at a bar. I arrived in my car. I parked the car out back, and I walked to the bar. He's at the very front of the line, and I kind of wander over to him, and I'm like, hey, it's me. And he turns around, and I remember him like almost stumbling toward me. He was drunk, his friends were drunk. I walked in, and there was a table that had like $2 shots, and the bartender was offering people $2 shots. And I remember he was like trying really hard to force me to take like a bunch of shots with him. I felt forced into taking the shot. I felt forced into like having this like, closeness with somebody I didn't know. He was sitting next to me at the bar, and I told him I'm just gonna go out get some air. But he stumbled after me. He was like, no, like let's go, let's take another shot. It's okay, you just need to loosen up. Like let's just take another shot. He had me against the wall. I turned and kind of pushed him away. He shoved me back against the wall, and again was trying to use that opportunity where nobody could see what was happening to be like in my space, to be on me. I remember like his lips touching my face. I remember like his arms like around my shoulders, grabbing me. I pushed him off of me, and like as he tried to reach for me again, I lifted my knee and I kicked him in the balls, and I booked it. I ran in the heels that I can't walk in. I ran down the street into my car, and I saw him running after me. I saw him running after my car as I pulled out of the lot. I felt like in that moment I could only rely on myself to be safe. And I couldn't rely on the policemen that were there. I couldn't rely on, the bartender who watched me in concern but maybe didn't feel like they could say anything. Yeah, I remember like I shouldn't be driving, but I have to be safe and I have to get home.
Do you think it's possible to find love on dating apps?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I found love. My current boyfriend, like I found him on a dating app on Bumble. The first year of our relationship was so amazing, but also um, it was stained sometimes by my past experiences. A lot of like that first year was me feeling scared. I remember like a bunch of times I would just ask him like, is this for real? Like, do you actually love me, or are you gonna hurt me? Like, imagine asking somebody point blank like, will you hurt me? Like, just tell me now, like, um, because you feel like that's inevitable almost. A lot of the negative experiences I've had through dating apps have, greatly affected my current relationship. So it's a coin toss for anybody, really. So I couldn't give any advice. I'm no expert, really. Just an expert in being a woman in the society, I suppose. Yeah.